Welcome parents. This is our information evening for our year groups regarding our assessment procedures that we use at Gosford High School. These evenings are usually a face-to-face evening, and we would have you at our hall and we'd be going through the procedures and the processes that we have in place at Gosford High School to ensure that all of our assessment tasks are given to all of the students in a fair and equitable manner, and that the students have the best chances of achieving the highest results. Today you're going to hear from each of our year advisors, and you will also hear from the head teacher, the deputy, and you'll hear about some of the welfare supports that we have in place that are there to support the students at Gosford High School. Everything here is obviously built around giving students at Gosford High School that have high potential and gifted education programs the best opportunities. And through our assessment processes in the booklets that each of you have been given access to, you'll be able to see information that allows students to plan and prepare the best they can for the assessments each year. When we hear from each of the presenters, you'll notice that there's some common themes that come through. And when we have our ex-students coming back and talking to Year 12 students, they also echo the same messages to the students, and that all begins with planning. A well-planned year and organisation is really the key to success. Not only does it allow you to know when the assessment tasks are going to occur, and when there's bunching of tasks, which inevitably occurs every year, it also allows you to put the chances of stress and anxiety, further at bay, which is a really a big part of making the journey through each year successful. The assessment processes that we have in place, right from year 7 right through to year 12, really are mirrored in each year group. We do this so that students are well prepared when they finally get to stage 6 for the expectations of the HSC. With that being the final goal for us, and the transition usually to university, we find that by making assessment tasks having the same format all the way through school, students are familiar and able to best succeed. In each task, you'll see due dates, you'll see a very detailed description of what the expectations are, and you'll also find information about what the teachers expect in the marking criteria. Please listen carefully to each of the presentations, and obviously you'll be able to go back through it and watch. But the real key is to having a look at that assessment book, looking at the actual subjects your child's enrolled in, and then making sure that you mark on the calendars or the planning tools that we've given you opportunities and putting down the times that they will occur. We do look forward to next week when we can move back to normal operations. Today we're filming on Friday the 25th of February, which is the last day where we have a lot of the COVID restrictions in place at school. And as of next week, we're expecting that we'll be able to do more of these evenings and more information where we'll be able to have parents on site and get to meet you face to face and actually talk about your individual child's needs and how we can assist you. But as always, communication is the key. Please be in touch. If there's anything that we can do to support your child, contact the school. You can contact us through the school email, or you can contact us through the front office in office hours, and we can direct you to the right person. And in most cases, that person will be the year advisor. So familiarise yourself with the booklet, know the year advisors, and I really do hope you find the rest of the information in this short webinar useful. Thank you very much.
Hello. I'm Miss Gatlin.
And I'm Miss Arundel.
I am the Year Advisor for Year 9.
And I'm the Assistant Year Advisor for Year 9.
You can find us in the Kappa staff room, which is just here near the visual arts classrooms. We can also help you with any problems you might have, such as
Workload,
or too many assignments and too much homework,
any trouble with friendship groups,
if you're feeling anxious or stressed,
or any other problems.
You can, if you can't find us in person, you can also email us here We look forward to another wonderful year as your year advisors.
Here's to a happy, healthy and safe 2022. Bye.
Hello parents, carers and students. My name is Mr Brett Marchant and I'm the Deputy Principal for Year 9 for 2022 at Gosford High School. Today's presentation is information to support all Year 9 students as they embark on their Stage 5 curriculum at Gosford High School. We're going to be looking at a few things regarding assessment and rules and procedures. We're going to look at unpacking assessment tasks and also some information around supporting success at Gosford High School, as well as acknowledging some of our merit systems and awards for 2022. The Year 9 assessment policy and schedule for 2022 has already been emailed to all parents and carers during week 4, but it can also be located on our parent portal as well as our Gosford High School website, as well as being distributed to all students via the Google Classroom. Our students were able to listen to a short presentation by myself regarding the assessment policy and the procedures at Gosford High School. This booklet is really important and contains essential information for all students attempting any assessment task in 2022. The booklet contains specific assessment task dates and weightings for each task. It also provides a schedule for each course that students are undertaking, and it outlines the school's assessment policies and procedures. It's a really important document that all students, parents and carers should have access to and should read prior to any assessment task. Part of the school's responsibilities in supporting our students through the curriculum and including assessment comes from the New South Wales Education Standards Authority, also known as NESA. That website is a fantastic resource for all students and parents and carers, and the link can be found within this presentation. It contains all syllabus documentation, but it also provides detailed information regarding curriculum and assessment and requirements for all students and staff in relation to completing the Stage 5 curriculum around electives and as well as course subjects, but also provides detailed information around provisions around assessment tasks or provisions during coursework as well. Within the Gosford High School Assessment Policy and Assessment Schedule booklet, there is a variety of information around staff responsibility and the school responsibility when distributing assessment tasks, but also student responsibilities. This involves the following responsibilities which are listed within this presentation. It's really important that all students are aware of their responsibilities around assessment, including making serious attempt in all assessment tasks, being aware of the following assessment task requirements, procedures, including of dates and submission times, applying themselves with diligence and sustained effort, and making sure that their task is of a personal best, and meeting all the course and school requirements, including attendance at class. It's really important that all students take a proactive approach and regularly communicate with all staff around any changes, challenges, or issues. Early communication is really important, and communicating with both classroom teacher, head teacher, and or deputy principal of that year group. Like previous years, all subjects have assessment tasks and all subjects have assessment schedules. Schedules are located in the Year 9 assessment booklet. It's important that students start to plan when their assessment tasks are due prior to that, and making sure that they're setting a detailed schedule of the weeks ahead. Each assessment task will come with an assessment notification. These are the official notification of the assessment task, and these will be given to all students at least 2 weeks prior to the published timeframe in the booklet. If there are any changes, the students will receive an assessment task update of that schedule along with the notification. Assessment task notifications outline the specific requirements for each assessment task, including weightings, dates, times of submissions, and what the task is asking the students to do. All assessment task notifications will also be uploaded to the parent portal of Gosford High School. On this slide, you'll see an example of an assessment schedule for English. On the top line, you'll see the task and the task numbers. The next, the nature of the task, which is some short information around the task and the task type generally. You'll have the week and the term of when that task is due, the outcomes that are going to be assessed within those tasks, and the total weighting. And in this case, all the tasks within this English assessment schedule are worth 25%. You'll notice that in this assessment schedule that there seems to be a task in each term. However, in some courses that may not be the case. So it's important to plan ahead and make sure that your child has a clear calendar set up with all of their courses and their assessment due dates around the weeks. On this slide, this shows an example of an assessment task notification for English. This connects to the last slide where we saw the English assessment schedule. All students will receive a notification of an assessment task at least 2 weeks prior to the assessment task due date. On the task, it will always have the unit of where that task is coming from, the task number, in this case, task 1, the weighting, which is 25%, and the due date. And generally on the due date, it will have the day as well as the week, inclusive of the time of that due, the assessment task submission. So in this case, during period 1. Some assessment notifications may have a time, which might mean a 9 a.m. submission via their Google Classroom. Below that, we have the outcomes that are going to be assessed. These will match up generally with the assessment schedule that is in the booklet, and these are the outcomes that are being assessed through the NESA website and through the course curriculum. The task section below is a description of what is being asked of the student and the task outline. So in this task, they're looking at an unseen poem where they need to do a short answer and a long response. The submission is during period 1 on Wednesday during their class, and they'll have 50 minutes to complete that task. Below that, there's some really key information around the marking criteria in terms of what they'll be assessed on, as well as how they can prepare to be successful in this task. This slide connects directly to the English notification on the previous slide and shows an example of the marking criteria connected to the notification. On all notifications for assessment tasks, there generally will be a marking criteria that goes with the assessment task. This criteria shows the students what they need to do to achieve their personal best and receive marks associated with that assessment task. You can see that the criteria is listed with marks associated to this. It's important that students take note of this and read this as they're completing their assessment tasks throughout that process. It's important that all students start to plan for success. Everyone has received their assessment schedules for 2022, and these documents are planners that can be used to support and block out when tasks are due across all courses. These templates can be found on all parent portals across all year groups, and we suggest that these are used throughout the year to help guide and plan for assessment tasks as they come up throughout the terms and or semesters. With absence, illness and misadventure, if your child is absent due to illness on the day of any assessment task, it is important that you notify the school office before the start of the day prior to 9 a.m. It's important to understand that if your child is sick and they are absent, that a medical certificate is required, as well as the illness and misadventure form. These forms can be found within the assessment booklet, as well as on our Gosford High School website and parent portal within the assessment policy booklet and schedule booklet. If you have prior knowledge of any absence, e.g. a specialist appointment, sporting commitment, please follow the misadventure process. So the process and instructions are in the assessment booklet for 2022. They can also be collected from the Deputy Principal's office. Your child will need to submit or sit the assessment task on their first day back at school. It's important to understand that this process has been designed to ensure that all assessment tasks are equitable and fair for all our students at Gosford High School. To support the previous slide, within the Gosford High School assessment booklet, you'll find a flowchart which supports the application for absence due to illness or misadventure. It's important that this process is followed for any student who is experiencing illness or misadventure in relation to assessment tasks. It's important that all students and families familiarise themselves with this process. The flowchart can be found at the back of the assessment policy in the booklet. Technology and assessment tasks. Students are encouraged to back up and save their work using any of the following: USB, Google Drive, OneDrive, or Google Classroom, or save their personal files on a school drive. Failure of technology is not a reason for an assessment task appeal or misadventure. So it's important that students are well aware that they need to make sure that they're backing up any assessment task or schoolwork that they are completing. This slide shows the Year 9 assessment task appeal application form and the steps to complete the appendix. This form and appendix can be found in the Gosford High School assessment booklet for Year 9. The steps include collecting the form immediately on the day of return to school or prior from the Deputy Principal. Complete form ensuring all sections are complete, attach any supporting documentation to the application and submit form to the Deputy Principals. Within that form and the assessment task appeal application, you'll see reasons for the application. These need to be completed and filled out accordingly to the reason. At Gosford High School, we have a variety of awards and merits which we use to celebrate the achievements and successes of all our students at Gosford High School. Within that, students can receive awards and merits for a variety of classroom-based success, as well as school representation and community achievement. You can see a list of the awards within this presentation, where we have our merit awards equaling 20 merits, Year Advisor Award 40 merits, Deputy Principal Awards 80 merits, and Principal Award 160 merits. Also part of our awards and merit system, we have our house points and our house games. These are linked to our 4 houses at Gosford High School: Wheeler, Kingsbury, Rowe and OSU. Each term we have our house games where students are able to earn points for each of their houses, but also they're able to earn points due to their participation at any of our sporting carnivals, including our athletics, swimming and cross country. Also, we have our faculty awards, which are given out by each faculty throughout the terms and semesters, and these are presented to students during year assemblies. Phones and digital time. At Gosford High School, students' phones are to be turned off or on silent during all lessons. Any communication that is needed to get to students we made through our administration staff via our front office, and those messages will be passed on to all students throughout the day. As part of our community engagement, we try and use our Gosford High School social media, including our Gosford High School Facebook and Instagram, to try and promote and communicate any upcoming information to all our families within our community. So if you do have access to these two platforms, we encourage our families to jump on and follow the Gosford High School Facebook and Instagram. All Year 9 students in 2022 have access to our Google Classroom. This is managed by the year advisors, our head teacher welfare, Mr. Chris Howe, and myself. The Google Classroom for Year 9 is a really important avenue for communication around upcoming events, as well as opportunities that are happening for Year 9 students and reminders. So we encourage all students to be part of that year group Google Classroom, where messages are given out most days, so it's important that students are checking that quite regularly. As part of the Year 9 targeted wellbeing programs at Gosford High School, we have a variety of wellbeing events to support our students as they move through Year 9. Some of those events are throughout our curriculum, but also are run separately as whole day events. We also have our year meetings and school assemblies quite regularly, where we try and connect and engage with our students around a variety of different avenues and things that are upcoming for them. We have a lot of house games and lunchtime clubs that are running at Gosford High currently, including extracurricular activities such as debating, academic competitions and sporting competitions as well. These are all generally communicated to students via Google Classroom or via our daily notices. So it's important that you regularly connect with your child around maybe joining some of these clubs or seeing if anything is upcoming that they may be interested that is a little bit extracurricular as well. Supporting a child at Gosford High School, and one of the big things that we try and talk to our parents and community about is collaboration and communication. Making a phone call is always the first step if there is any concerns or issues. So please don't hesitate to make contact with the school via phone or email. And your first point of call is generally to the year advisor, classroom teacher, or myself. For our students in Year 9. There is a lot of information that is being uploaded to the parent portal for Year 9, and like previous slides was mentioned, that includes our assessment policies and schedules, but also some support resources around study planners that can help with time management. So we encourage that our students and parents utilise these to support your child's success at Gosford High School. But also on the last dot point there is stress management and making sure that there's balance and downtime. We understand that Gosford High School is a selective high school, but it's important to make sure that all our students have some downtime away from school and away from digital time as well. So making sure that there is that balance. And again, we are here to support that. And if you do need help in supporting that, please let us know. I have mentioned the parent portal throughout this presentation a variety of times, and if you haven't accessed the parent portal, it can be done via our Gosford High School website. If you do need access support, please don't hesitate to contact the front office. Alternatively, Mr. Jackson, our Head of Technology, can support you logging on to that parent portal, where there is a variety of information, assessment task notifications and resources to support our students at Gosford High School. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation, and hopefully provided some insight to Year 9 2022 at Gosford High School. And again, if you do need any questions answered or any support, please don't hesitate to contact the school office on 4325 2048, or please don't hesitate to send an email. You can see a list of support staff for all our students in Year 9. Mrs. Gatlin, our Year 9 Year Advisor, and Mrs. Arundel, our Assistant Year 9 Year Advisor, as well as Mr. Howe, Head Teacher Welfare, and or myself as Deputy Principal. Please don't hesitate to make contact, and I'm looking forward to meeting you all very soon, hopefully in person. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mr. Helm, the Head Teacher Welfare at Gosford High School. My role is to help support your young person with their well-being in their time at Gosford. I have a large team that I work alongside who we're all here to look after the pastoral needs of your young person. For example, my Year Advisor team work with every year group, of course, and they're the first point of contact if there's an issue or concern that you'd like to raise with us, or just to keep us up to date with what's going on with your young person. The other people in my team, I have a school counsellor every day. I also have a student support officer, a wellbeing nurse, and a learning support team as well. And they're all there, as I said before, to support your young person's needs and support their wellbeing at school. We also run a number of wellbeing programs and educational programs around topics which are of relevance and importance as your student is going through their high school journey too. And as I said, our main job is to try and ensure that your young person comes to school happy and is successful and is able to kind of maintain a healthy work-life and study balance and thrive in this environment. And that's what we really aim to do. If you've got any questions or would like to know anything more about our wellbeing and learning support, please get in contact with the school. And as I said, the communication is really important, so please reach out if you need anything.